Hello, YouTube. It's me, John Avenger, once again. Yes, back in full frame, and here's my next review for streamed movies and theatrical releases. This one is not Space Jam 2. That'll be my next review. This is for a 1995 movie, American family comedy from Disney that I saw on Disney Plus. It's a pretty funny movie for probably very underrated. Heavyweights. Yeah. This is a cult film that Disney made back in the 90s that was not successful at the box office like The Mighty Ducks, but it still has its charm. Yeah, it's basically a premise you'll never see now because people are very sensitive now. The film is written by Stephen Brill, which he's done some bad Adam Sandler movies, but here he's in his element. For a kids movie, it could have been a lot worse. And it's also produced by Judd Apatow. Yes, this is what he did before he did those 2 hour comedies that he did back in the 2000s with Steve Carell and all these other people. Yeah, it's basically the film centers around a fat camp. No offense to anybody on my YouTube channel that's fat or plus size, for kids that is taken over by a fitness guru named Tony Perkis, aka Ben Stiller. He's over the top here, very very crazy, and kind of dangerous to these kids' health because he makes them like do 80 push-ups and run 20 miles in the forest and whatever. And yeah, he's crazy. And you know what? It's a very predictable movie, but it's very funny. I like this a lot better than The Big Green because it didn't have some British chick, ruining the movie for me. Where I'm like, yeah, I didn't even care about the cast in that. Even the rest of the cast, like Steve Guttenberg and Ben Bug Hall and a bunch of the kids, I just didn't care about their characters. Here, all of the kids are fat kids. They're like plus size, chubby kids, except for the girls. The girls are mainly, like the few girls are in this movie are thin. So the one of the nurse, she's gorgeous by the way. Leah Lau, she looks like a mix. If you took Brie Larson and you mixed her with Alicia Silverstone, you get this chick, and she's very very beautiful. She doesn't act anymore. She retired in 2006, but she was an actress for a while in the 90s. You also have Jerry Stiller. May he rest in peace. I miss him a lot. You have Paul. Yes, the director of Fembusters is in this movie. Josh, I shit you not. Paul Feig is in this movie. He's a supporting character, and I'm like, wow, this is the same guy that did Spy and freaking Ghostbusters, Fembusters, I call it. And yet that movie made more than this, even though it flopped. It made more than this movie. That's just insane. I don't hate the guy, but like I said, as an actor, he's very over the top here. If you thought Pedro Pascal was a cartoon in Wonder Woman 84, that's nothing compared to when you see Paul Feig. He does this really weird dance when they're dancing in the camp, and I'm like, it's just so he was on something. I think Feig took a couple of shots before he got on camera or did some substances because he's way too over the top here. It's not horrible to look at, but trust me, if you hate Fembusters, you'll get my drift. You also have some of the cast members from some of the Mighty Ducks movies. You have um, the kid that played Goldberg in the Mighty Ducks. You have Kenan Thompson in the Mighty Ducks sequels. He's here, even though he's more of a Nick star, not a Disney Channel star. I never saw him as a Nick. Peter Berg is in the movie too. He's a director. He's the chef. Has an uncredited role as the chef in the movie. Laura Michelle Hills as Josie the Angelic Girl. Yeah, she is beautiful. She's in her 40s now. She was the first. She was on the cover of Playboy back in the 1990s, or no, in the year 2000. She's a beautiful girl. She also appeared as herself in The House Bunny. She's married to actor Sean Patrick Flannery. Oh, the guy that was in Boondock Saints. Yeah, and they have two sons. Good for her. It's a very beautiful actress. Like she is an angel. You also have Tom Hodges as Lars. He's a very over the top, I think German or Austrian. He's very over the top. Like it's a kids movie, guys. It's a mid 90s kids romp with some toilet humor and some crass humor and some stupid slapstick. But it's not the worst thing ever. It's way better than Mighty Ducks 3 because that was just boring. You also have Alan Corvert. He's done a lot of Adam Sandler's movies like Little Nicky and Big Daddy. I think he was in that, and he was unfortunately in Jack and Jill. But he's a good actor. No Adam Sandler here because this is when he was doing his rise when he was doing Happy Gilmore and Billy Madison. so he didn't have time to do this. Jeffrey Tambor is also in the movie. Anne Murray, Sean Weiss or Weiss. The only actor I thought who was bad here was the kid that plays the British kid. He's awful. Excuse me. He's absolutely terrible. He sounds like Ron Weasley from Harry Potter. Think Ron if he was a chubby kid and didn't have red hair. And yeah, this kid couldn't act. Like he's only done this one movie and he never acted again. Good. The main kid I did like Gerald Garner, played by Aaron Schwartz. He's a good actor. He reminds me of Corey Feldman when he was a kid actor in the 80s. Good actor. Or Sean Astin as well. And the kids can act. They're funny, and it's mostly a bro film. 90% of the cast is guys, so don't look for too much TNA in this movie, Josh, because it's just like one adult woman and a couple of girls that are now they're legal, but back then they were little teeny boppers. And the movie's very underrated. Like it got pushed under the radar. There were better movie. It was a better comedy than any comedy that came out last year in the theater. Other than Sonic, a lot and Bad Boys, a lot of the movies that were supposed to be funny were not. Doolittle was not funny. Like a Boss was not funny. Uh, what else came out last year? Some animated movies that come out. Like Onward, I don't think was funny either. But yeah, anyway, it's still a very overlooked movie. And while there was another summer camp movie that Disney did in the '90s called Camp Nowhere, I think this is a little bit better. It's funny. It's got a charm to it. Yeah, they do fat shame, but guys, this was a different time. This isn't now where people get offended for everything: your race, your politics, your religion, your sexual orientation, anything, your body type, whatever. You're short, you're tall, whatever. They always have to do that. Now, back then, it was a different time, so you can't fault the film for doing talking about a social issue that people face to this very day. But it's a fine movie. Like if you've never seen it on Disney Plus, it's worth a watch. I wanted to watch it once because it's a summer movie. It's very fun and it's light. It's not. It doesn't get too dark where a kid binge eats so much that he dies or something. No, it's nothing like that. There is a scene where they go to a rave and they start binge eating a bunch of snacks and they just crash. That is realistic. Hey, and there's a scene. I shit you not. It's way more realistic than Fast Nine. There's a go kart race at the end of the movie, like in Little Rascals, and I think one of the drivers jumps over one of the other drivers, and the cast is like, and I'm like, yeah, it's more realistic because they're not flying in the air; they're flying like at a low altitude. They're not like thousands of feet in the air like in Fast Nine, where they're riding a car literally off a bridge and they're swinging like freaking Tarzan. That's stupid. Here they don't do that. It's just a nice big jump and they go over the car, win the race, and they throw the trophy in the in the lake because the other team's like, we did this for the trophy, and it's like, oh, you want this? Go get it. It has a charm to it. I did laugh a couple of times. I like the cast. I think they're very funny and charming. Ben Stiller gets exactly what he deserves at the end. It has a post-credit scene, so if you see this movie on Disney Plus, fast forward to the end. There's a scene with Ben Stiller. This is post-credit scenes before Marvel started doing it, and DC, etc. So Disney did it years before, and it's funny. It's not bad. It's not horrible. Critics gave it a 29%, but I'm like, it's not meant for critics. They wanted this to be deep and thought-provoking. Go see a Pixar movie. This is just a fun audience. Yeah, score of 80%, 86% from Google users, and it deserves its cult status. And it is a spoof on Tony Little and Susan Powter's style fitness merchant, which is like these crazy food enthusiasts that are like they want to be motivational speakers saying you got to lose weight or else. So I'm like, yeah, but it didn't deserve it. That would not work today because if you fat shame people now, they will probably cancel you. But back then in 1995, it was different. But it's fun for what it is. It's easy to process. It's 98 minutes long. It's not 2 hours long, thankfully. And it hits the right notes. If you're a 90s kid like me, and my sister is also a 90s kid, you'll get a kick out of it. And it's light, and it's not a Hallmark movie or a Lifetime movie or any TV movie or Disney Channel movie of the week. It's a Disney release from theaters in 1995. It was just bad timing. It came out in February. It was cold. Should have came out in the summer, but that summer was stacked full of bigger movies like Batman Forever. So yeah, it would have been lost in the shuffle. But at least it got the cult status it deserves, and I like it. So thanks for watching. Take care, and I'll see you in my next review. Will be for Space Jam 2: A New Legacy. I can't wait. I hope this blows my mind. Thanks for watching.